no. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. It's not like it matters. He would have started.
We are live to episode 44 of season 2. You guys, this is the last podcast until the new year. Let me know what you guys think for the year.
Yeah, what in the meth is going on there?
Bro.
My
Holy
God.
crackhead, Batman.
You have some, like,
you got some cocaine!
dude, your search history has got to be like one the FBI is constantly watching.
See? And you guys think hogs and dogs and fat bitches with green hair is bad.
Cocaine! No, but seriously, I thought that shit would be funny because at the beginning of this podcast, if you guys remember, the very, very beginning of this, everybody was saying that I was like my local neighborhood drug dealer.
Yeah.
So I thought, what the hell? Let's put this up there as kind of a commemorate that because that shit was like going rampant on Twitter. Everybody was like, dude, you really sell that shit? Like, no, dude, it's a joke.
Was it you and Rambo that had the meth plantation, or just Rambo, or just you?
It was just Brim. That's the reason why he was always late to the cast, is because he was checking on his
business.
Yeah.
Hey, it's all
The
about
Mexicans,
that meth,
the Mexicans stealing the meth.
It's all about that meth.
Rajiv says that's a photo of Rambo, so Brim must have sold to Rambo recently.
Yo, Instagram, I'm gonna make it rain, son. I'm gonna make it snow, if you know what I'm saying. Dude, look at that guy's car, dude. He's got cocaine all over it, dude. Like, that is such a
Look at
waste.
the dude's eyes.
This motherfucker hit a bump.
Oh my god, dude, that shit's hilarious.
You know, that probably like raises the resale value if your dashboard is like encrusted with cocaine.
It probably, yeah, I imagine it does. Like, you could definitely increases the value for sure.
You know, like, hey man, you want some of that white shit?
You just get what you do is you get the person you're trying to sell it to in the car, and if they like, no man, I really don't like it, you just turn the air conditioner on to blow all that white stuff all over them, and they're like, yeah, dude, I'll take it. I'll take it. You got another one?
This guy hit a mountain. Bro, like, that shit is hilarious. So those of you that are watching right now, please retweet us on Twitter. Let everybody know that we are kicking right now for the last podcast of the last of 2017. You guys, it's been a rough year, but you know what? I'm hoping that this next year can be better because it's been pretty bad, like, for the last 2 or 3 years now. Shit's been happening to all of us. A lot of bad shit's happened in our nation. Like, I just hope overall that fucking things just look up for us in the future. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I want. That's all I want. I just want a good year. Just give me a good fucking year, man. That's all I want.
You already had that like in 2002 or something like that.
2002.
Yeah, you used them all up, man.
Yeah. Fresh out of those things.
So, what are you guys gonna be doing for New Year's? You guys got any plans? You guys got any family coming down?
Shit.
No,
Doing shit?
I don't. I'm not spending time with. I mean, other than my immediate family, I'm not spending time with family at all.
It's like, that's not required of me on this day.
Nope. It's not a national. It's not a national day that I have to go see family, and if that's the case, and I never see them.
Man. Cyrus, what's up, lover? Evidently, we have kids together, according to Twitter.
Yeah, Rambo and I are products of Cyrus and Brimstone, apparently.
Evidently, Cyrus and I like to move furniture quite a bit, so we have to send you to your rooms.
Well,
Yeah. Like,
Bro, like, that shit is hilarious. Where did you guys find that app, dude? That shit's funny.
I don't know. I know. What's her name? Posted one earlier.
Titanfall found it.
Titanfall.
Oh, okay.
Ew, look at all that hair.
I want to go on Maury, they ain't mine. Oh, man. So, I got some...
I wonder if we could.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, we could use this and actually go like send our submissions into Maury and say, look, I don't think I'm the father.
Like, I'm pretty sure I pulled out more than once that night, so there's no way this Oh, man. So, we got some... I found some articles I think worthy of talking about for PC. And they got some events coming for Dota, which I know Pete will be interested in. They're bringing out a card game for Dota soon. And esport, it's gonna be esports centric. So I know, I'm sure you'd probably get into that one, Pete.
Yeah, we'll see.
So they on PC Gamer they posted this new case set that's coming out called Baron Case Liquid, and what they do is on their cases they have pre-installed, pre-fabricated AIOs built into the case itself. So all you got to do is just put your fucking pins in, pop in your motherboard, and then put your AIO on your CPU and you're set. That's all you got to do. They have everything taken care of for you. Like everything is done. All the work, all the groundwork for like for all your piping and stuff is done for you. So you don't have to touch any of that. Shane, you use an AIO. Do you think AIOs are worth it, man?
At times, yes. Like I bought mine specifically because on certain games, I was tired of fans revving up and getting what I thought was unnecessarily high temperatures. One of the main games for that, at least in my book, was H1Z1. I saw 1 degree difference with an AIO. That's it. So in that case,
but are you overclocking?
Nope.
That's why.
Because I'm not overclocking?
Yes. Because, like on my Ryzen, or I should say, on my 8320, when I had that clocked at like stock clocks, it would, let's see, with the air cooler, it would get up to, I think, like just shy of 70. And then when I started overclocking it, it was way too high. So I switched to a single Corsair 140 mil radiator, and then it was getting up to like 65, 63 on the overclock. And then when I wanted to overclock higher, it was getting too high again. So I switched to the double 140 Corsair cooler. And man, when I put that bitch in, it wouldn't even get higher than like 55.
That is kind of weird. I don't know about that.
I mean, that's if you don't have one of the top like, you know, the super high end pre-overclocked CPUs, or you're not overclocking, then liquid cooling really isn't. It's not going to give you any benefit over an air cooler because it's not generating enough heat. But once you start, or maybe if you have like a super small case and you just can't fit a big enough air cooler, that, you know, that might be a situation. But other than stuff like that, if you can fit a nice decent air cooler in there, unless you're overclocking or you've got a really, really hot CPU, yeah, liquid cooling just isn't really worth it. But once you start, they help.
Well, like I said,
I have a 4790K.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's an all-in-one job. I think some of you that are just getting into PC gaming, if you don't want to spend the extra money on liquid cooling, it seems like these prices are pretty decent versus buying an entirely separate job for you. Like,
what do they run?
Let's see. I'm checking on their shit right. Oh, $140 to $150.
Wow,
that's not bad.
And that is a tower.
No, considering
yeah, it's called Baron Case Liquid.
Yeah, I mean, you could spend that just on a case, and you could spend that much just on a liquid cooler.
I
so
did.
If you can get
the
both.
H110 and the Fractal Arc XL, yeah.
I mean, even my Corsair, when it was brand new, it was like $125, and it wasn't anything special.
And it supports, check this out, and it supports ITX, MATX, and ATX. So it supports all of them.
Nice.
Yeah, and it has a temperature gauge with a radiator on it looks like the air intake, then it goes into the AIO, goes to the radiator to the top. So they're actually setting you up with everything. Like, it's almost like a full complete liquid cooling setup for really cheap. So I mean, it comes with 2 USB 3.0s on the top with your audio and your mic. You have 340 millimeter max fan grids. So I mean, this shit's pretty massive, dude. And
for that price,
yeah.
I mean, as long as everything performs well, yeah. I mean, especially for somebody who wants to liquid cool but doesn't want to mess with, you know, buying all the stuff for it. Yeah.
The sockets go all the way back to FM1, FM2, dude. Like,
shit.
You go LG. You can do LGA 20 to LGA 1150. Like it's Ryzen, all Ryzen to APUs, which was like the old Zambezi shit. Supports that even. I mean, it's
And
still a
it
lot.
probably could do the AM3 Plus with some modification too, because
Yeah, it does.
the only difference between AM3 Plus and Ryzen is the distance between your CPU socket and
It
the
does-
other
it
shit
does
around the
AM4.
board.
Yeah, it does AM4.
Yeah.
The fans and the pump speed, like, so the pump speed is 2300 RPMs. That's pretty fucking good. Like, that's really good. Some fans don't even, like, some independent coolers that you get, like the air cooling, don't even get to 2300 RPM sometimes. Especially if you go with, like, a lower tier one. And, like, I have an Intermex White Cluster. It goes up to 3000 RPMs. And I paid, like, $30 for it at the time. So, and it's like one of the best coolers you can get for that price. So, I mean, just to have one of these all-in-one jobs that are like only cost you maybe $150, that's pretty fucking good, dude.
Yeah, that's a great deal. And it'd be pretty easy for them to offer that same case without the liquid cooling stuff too.
9,000 build. I have a 6,000 so far. Go get. They only accept Bitcoin. Sorry, Instagram. What are you guys talking about, man? Why don't you game on a PC? Hey, Rambo. I can give you your PTSD. 2 GTA. Can I? What? 4K. Instagram.
Yeah,
Dude, you gotta like speak English if you want us to answer a question, bro.
Yep.
Like I can barely.
A full sentence. You know.
We'll use antifreeze. You know antifreeze, right? Like antifreeze is literally anti-freeze. Like.
Because I think it's will it use
Got cyanide in
antifreeze
it though. That okay,
or
drink it.
mineral oil for cooling. I think that's what he meant by that last one. In
Oh,
which
okay.
case, I'd almost bet it's going to be antifreeze because I don't think there are any commercial liquid coolers that use mineral oil.
Yeah. Destiny 2 is doing the same farming for light as they did in 1, so that's coming back. Their Glimmer or whatever the hell it's called. Either Glimmer farming. Yeah. Diablo 3's Darkening of Tristram anniversary event is coming back for 2018. You guys are gonna probably see me on that. CCP is announcing a new game. They're saying it's gonna be their most ambitious MMO ever, and even though EVE Online is pretty fucking massive itself, I can't see them going above that. Tell you the truth. They're
Resident Evil 7's base price was cut in half, and it's now 20% off on Steam. So it was $60, it's down to $29.99, and with the 20% off, it's down to $23.99. So if anybody wants that game, that's a hell of a deal for.
Yeah, that's a pretty good game. I
I
haven't
mean, that's
played it yet, but
almost
I mean,
a brand new game.
yeah.
it's about a year. Like it'll be a year old in January.
Is it a year old already?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought it came
shit,
out like
I-
early summer or something.
Yeah,
It
that's
came
what I
out in
thought.
January.
God, that makes a little more sense then.
Valve's Dota 2 card game Artifact is playable. Esports pros will be the first to test it. So this is supposed to be, like I said, this is that card game I was telling you about. Like this is supposed to be an esports centric card game. I don't know how I feel about this, to tell you the truth, because I really enjoyed Dota 2, but I don't know if I enjoyed Dota 2 so much to the point that I feel like it warrants a card game. Like it just seems like card games nowadays is just a cheap like throw on to some of these games.
Well, kinda. And how do you make an esports out of it?
Like, if it was Magic the Gathering, I could see it. Even Yu-Gi-Oh, I could see it.
Well, no,
But
esports
this-
is electronic sport.
right. That's my point. Yeah.
I mean, do you think anybody would play Hearthstone for an esport?
I guess, right?
I
don't
think
know.
I think they do.
I think they do.
Do they?
Actually, yeah.
Well, all right then. Yeah.
He says
Well, all right then.
he says he wants to use 2 GTX 1080 Ti's and SLI. If that's what you want to use, yeah, that case will support. It's called Baron Case. Here, let me go back to that story. Pull up
Just
the
2?
site.
Yes.
Just 2. That's it.
You gotta get 4 Titan V's.
Yeah, see, I'm planning on doing like 4 1080 Ti's and SLI, and then I'm also gonna actually run dual i9s.
And then, like a real man, he's gonna go sell it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Well, no, all I'm gonna do on it is surf Twitter.
All right, here's the link to that site, you guys. Please go check them out. They seem pretty interesting. Like I said, Baron Case, man, like that seems like it would be a badass deal, dude. Like I almost want to try this. An AIO, you know how much sound that cuts out? Like that's like almost no sound whatsoever. You wouldn't even hear the coil wind. So, Sup, Spare Who? All right, so that reminds me. Twitter reminds me, of course, because it's Twitter.
Of course.
So we got a few people, Rambo, that, and I think one of them is a troll account, but we don't have to mention these people's names. Did you want to talk about that today? The Twitter battles of a good old Rambo?
Oh, what happened on
of course, without mentioning name, because like I told this guy on Twitter, like I really don't feel like giving these people any more attention. They don't deserve it. So.
Nope. Y'all know. I mean, y'all know my situation with Twitter, but I usually just simply like ignore people. Like,
yeah, you move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just ignore people and move on and just do what I got to do. And I mean, you can tweet at me all you want. I just, ignore you. I don't really give a shit. But it happened to, like, this one guy was talking about needing new writers for his site. And I replied back to him and saying, that I'd actually put my name in a couple of times before, and it seems like somebody up there is one of the higher up people in that area doesn't seem to like me or something or whatever, because I never yet even talked to about it. And here comes the person that decides to jump in and was like, well, no wonder, like, you threaten people and to come whoop their ass, and you do nothing besides lie, and all this shit like that just kept on going on. And then followers from that person kept jumping in, and I was like, I'm done, man. And somehow I responded to him at that point, because at that point I was just pissed off. I was like, I'm done. Like, just go the fuck on. Like you seem like some neckbeard sitting in your fucking mom's basement, like having no fucking life, that you have to sit there and constantly think about me. And I said, obviously, I have fucking like warped your fucking mind somehow for you to sit there and constantly thinking about me. And somehow,
all the time, every day, right?
Somehow one of his followers were like, oh no, clearly, he then said, no, clearly we own your mind. I was like, I don't even fucking think about y'all. Like, that's like what you're like not understanding. If you never fucking tweeted me, I would never ever in my life even mention or see or think or even acknowledge your existence. Like, it doesn't. They're not on my mind at all. But somehow me responding that one time is clear enough that I'm currently mind fucked by them, and I can't not respond to them. I'm like, dude, I've gone for like 2 months without even once responding to your ass. And we're talking daily 10 to 12 tweets a day.
Well, come on, Rambo. They wanted Senpai to notice them.
Yeah, well, apparently they wanted attention. Well, they got it this time, because I did report it for harassment, because it is.
Well, it's funny is like, so they act like just because they have the right to say it, that there shouldn't be any consequences behind what they say, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're like, oh, it's just a bitch move. It's just a bitch move. Like, motherfucker, you are literally getting involved with a business transaction between two people. Like, you have no right to even enter yourself into that conversation in the first place. And you're going to tell people that Rambo's being a bitch? No, there's a line that you just don't cross. And this guy's crossed it a number of times. And
this isn't the first time.
Yeah, and for some reason, he thinks he's absolutely immune from any wrongdoing. Like, he thinks that there should be no consequence behind what he says. It's like, I've already tried to talk to this guy. I already tried to tuck my shit out with this guy, and he refuses to listen. And he refuses to take heed. I mean, even his buddy was trying to get him to read between the lines earlier in the week, telling him to leave you the fuck alone. Obviously, he doesn't know how to catch a fucking hint. You know what I mean? Like, it's so stupid. So, he got blocked, and he got banned on Twitter. How do you get banned on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen? You take a screenshot of the person harassing you, and you report them with said screenshot. It's that fucking simple. Your words have consequence. I'm not saying to censor people. I'm saying,
oh God, no.
I'm saying if you are gonna go as far as interjecting yourself into a business meeting between two other people, right? Regardless if it's out in the open or not, you know, you have no rights or bearing in that conversation. Just
Oh, no,
right
Well,
to
yeah.
say-
How would one of these Twitch streamers feel if they were going to get sponsored or something, and then all of a sudden, you know, random Twitter or Twitch assholes started contacting the company that wanted to sponsor them
oh, these
and
fucking idiots
was
are-
talking
dude,
shit about them?
Dude, these fucking idiots already are doing that, though. That's the thing. Like, okay, so you guys ever heard? I know Rambo. You already know who this is, and I think Shane, you know who this is. You know who DSP Gaming is, Pete?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Okay, so DSP Gaming has made some pretty stupid decisions in the past. Okay, this guy, is,
Yeah.
this guy is a fucking moron. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. He's a fucking idiot who's said and done some pretty fucked up things in the past, right? But this guy has been trying to turn his shit around for years now. For like the last 2 or 3 years, he's been trying to better himself. He's trying to just move on. Okay, these motherfuckers will not let him move on. Like, I agree with what these guys were saying in the beginning. The guy's an idiot. He said some stupid shit. He probably shouldn't be allowed to do some of the things he's doing now. But the most part is he's trying to move on, and he's trying to do better things. This guy had some plans with some companies in a partnership, and these same asshats had, like, multiple accounts reporting this guy's account and all of his past shit that he did to these companies. So they pulled out of the contract because of them. Like,
Shit, Rich from Review Tech has lost sponsors because of people
Yeah.
like this.
this is retarded,
Well, I mean,
dude.
I think these people actually associate with the same people that have done that with Rich.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get into that situation because I'm about to start making content again, and actually even start trying to stream once I get everything set up, like with you and my donations and shit.
Yeah.
And if I happen to like get lucky and get a following, I'm not going to take the chance of this person fucking my shit up just because they don't care about like something I said to them about which one's objective and which one's not. Like, that's just fucking stupid.
Right. And they sit there, they say, well, you don't have to interact with me. You are older than me after all. Well, I'm like, okay, fair enough. We don't have to interact with you. But then here you are trying to fuck up this person's possible partnership. Like, where is the line at this point? Is there a line for you? I guess not. I mean, you don't want people to interact with you, right? So yet, people stop fucking with you and stop talking to you, and you can go behind their back and try to fuck up a possible future business venture, dude. That's fucked up. That's a fucked up thing to do to people.
Yeah, not normally like as far as like reporting or anything like that. That's something I just like I typically don't do like as by a rule.
This is the first time you've done it, dude.
First time I've ever had to block somebody,
ever done
or
this.
in 3 years of Twitter, the first time I blocked somebody, the first time I ever reported somebody.
Well, you know, they don't want you to report them, but yet they don't take in consideration that the reporting takes a little bit more extra effort than they think. Like, Twitter's not as sensitive as it used to be, first off. You actually have to go in, get a screen cap of what these people are saying, and then send it in. If you don't like being reported, watch what the fuck you say, you child. You petulant
Yeah, I mean,
fucking brat. Jesus.
And
That's all
he
he
acted,
is, dude. He's a petulant
Yeah, he
little
tried-
fucking brat.
he tried to act like he tried to act like that my asking him to come to Oklahoma City was over video games, and I'm like, fuck that. It was never about video games. Whenever I asked to talk to you about coming to Oklahoma City, that's whenever you brought my wife and kids into it. I said, you bring my wife and kids into it, and you're damn right.
I
You know,
think,
you
I
come
think
to.
it's funny how he said it was about video games, and yet and like a DM to me, he says that he that's one thing he's sorry about is about the whole thing of bringing your family up, right?
Yeah, he should have
But
kept it
then
about
he-
video games.
But then he downplays this entire situation when you were inviting him to Oklahoma City, and saying that it was just over video games. Like, no, it wasn't over video games. It was the simple fact that you brought this man's family up. You fucking oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's like,
dude.
I've had several fucking arguments on Twitter, several of them. I mean, my God, that's what half of the fucking podcast is usually about my fucking Twitter every fucking week.
Yeah.
And not a single time is this, any of these fanboys or anything like that. I mean, we're talking. I've dealt with some disgusting fanboys, but not a single one of them ever brought up my family. It's always been kept about the games.
No, it's always been it's just this pet
And-
fucking shot.
Or
It's
even
always
you know,
been-
even if personal attacks come into it, it still
Yeah.
doesn't go as far as family.
Yeah, if they're going to if I ever get personal attacks, it's always towards me. Which I don't mind if you call me names. I can give a shit less, but you bring my family into it, and that's whenever
dude, and him making
I'm a
Yeah,
dad,
that's a
man.
line
I'm-
crossed.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is like him fucking making fun of your disability
Oh yeah.
wasn't even nowhere near as offensive as bringing your family up in this.
Nope. Notice whenever
That's one
he was
thing I
making fun
noticed.
of my disability, I never even responded. I didn't even
you
care.
didn't even respond to him, yeah. And then you brought your
Because it
family
was about
up,
me.
and it was like, oh, okay, now you're just gonna be a prick, right? Like,
Yep. It's about me, so I don't really give a shit. But
This is
my
why-
family is off limits. in
this is why I tell people, if you are dealing with people from across the pond, like regardless if it's the UK, Australia, and they're known trolls that all they do is stir up the pot, like don't pay them any attention because they don't care. They don't have any actual moral compass. They could care less about what's right and wrong. They could care less about integrities of people. They could care less about anything really, because at the end of it all, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? That's why I try to tell people, like, just stay the fuck away from these kind of people. I'm not saying all people from the pond, across the pond, or in the UK or in Australia. Like, I'm not saying they're all bad.
Oh,
people.
no.
I'm just saying people like this particular individual, you need to be careful of, be very weary of, because it wasn't that long ago that we were all cool with each other. You know what I mean? It wasn't that long ago that we were all actually pretty tight and we were all fucking around and having fun. And now,
Yeah,
because you guys had a disagreement, it's like, oh, now we all can't just be cool anymore. You know what I mean? It's fucking stupid. So,
Well, what's crazy is that he'll tweet like he used to. He would tweet me in a thread where I can put down Metrox and Rambo and and DSP Gaming all in one tweet. We're talking like 17 tweets like this, like back to back to back to back to back to back to back,
yeah.
where he's basically talking to himself. And then I'll make a tweet about something, and he'll respond like, "Well, that's a really good idea. Like, I'd really like to do that." I'm like going, "Who the fuck do you think you are? Like, what? Like, how do you go from that to like thinking you're going to carry on a fucking conversation with me?" I just
Yeah, well,
ignore.
we're
it.
all of a sudden best friends now.
Yeah, I'm like I literally just fucking ignore him, and I would have continued. Like I was perfectly fine leaving everybody unmuted, unblocked, and I was simply just going to go on about my day. But as soon as he started, like, once that, even if that didn't ever devolve into anything, and like that never was messed up or wouldn't have been messed up or whatever from that, that just showed me that in the future, had anything I ever actually big transpire, it would be messed up over this guy.
Yeah.
If Mixer decided, hey, you want to partner with Mixer, you partner with us on Discord, you want to partner with us, and I'm actually talking to them via Twitter, guarantee you, like I would be like completely shunned from a business deal because of some asshat that just can't handle the fact that that we had a disagreement over objectivity and subjectivity.
Which is fucking stupid.
It's fucking insane, man. Like I literally have not even, like, other than the fact that y'all joking around about being objective and shit in the chat and stuff, I haven't even thought about that whole tweet thread or anything like that. I've just left it alone and moved on.
Well, that's the whole
And
point of it, though.
this guy will not allow me to just move on.
Well, I mean, like I said, man, like he has no moral compass. I mean, it's fucking in his name, for fuck's sakes. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
that is why he still doesn't get it to this day. You know what I mean? He still doesn't understand why people don't fuck with him. He still doesn't understand why people don't talk to him. He still doesn't understand that even his friends and his own podcast are telling him, shut the fuck up. Like, seriously. I mean, I don't know how many people have to tell this guy to shut the fuck up over Twitter. That nobody cares. That he's the only one in his own little bubble yelling to himself through a mirror. Because I muted him. I muted him and his other dick writers that decide that they're going to suck his dick and follow everything he does. Like, I'm done. He tweeted me.
Yep.
He tweeted at me today on an alt account, and I'm like, oh, muted. Pieces. Like, I'm not blocking you. I just don't feel like hearing you. So
Yeah, like with you, like I was comfortable with like just leaving him alone, but the block had to come because I want to make sure that I can actually handle my business without
him
anybody
interjecting
interjecting
into your
themselves.
personal
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. And I can already see it though. He's gonna be like, well, other people could have done the same thing. I don't see you going in on them. It's like, no, that's because not other people have a personal grudge against Rambo to a point where they feel like they have to attack him on an open forum. And
seriously, there's a big difference between getting into a heated argument with somebody and, you know, whatever it is, it happens to spark and they lose it and insult your family that one time, and somebody who is constantly harassing you and then they bring in your family.
Yep.
That, you know, that's two different things altogether.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, fucking with people's personal lives when it comes to trying to get a business deal going and bringing up people's family, like, you are officially, like, just dead to this group.
On top of being
Like
a constant
scum.
harasser?
I mean,
yeah.
Like,
It's the last straw.
You know what's funny, dude? Is, like, I don't even think I've seen other trolls go this deep. You know what I mean? There's been trolls that I've always told people, if you're going to troll me, be funny about it. Be clever, right? Like, really hit me good. Like, be hilarious about it. I don't mind those kind of trolls. I think those kind of trolls are hilarious. They're in our fucking server, for fuck's sakes. Like, I don't mind it. But don't be fucking making shit personal all of a sudden because you have a beef with somebody. Because it's not funny at that point. Now it's just an axe to grind.
Yep.
So
It's become less of a troll now, more personal. And I can deal with trolls all day long. I mean, I have to, because it's like what I like interact with mainly on Twitter. But I mean, at the same time, is like there once the troll crosses that line, then like at that point, there's no turning back. Is like for him, he couldn't turn back to like just trolling me. It was simply constantly the personal attacks just kept getting a little bit more and more and more further down, like further away from a norm, until it got to the point of actually involving himself into business. And that's when, you know, like I've taken residence in his mind. He cannot escape the day without having to think about me. I don't really know what happened in the situation where that happened. And I guess maybe trolls can become like somehow addicted or whatever what the word would be for it, obsessed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on.
I could imagine that if you were a troll, especially if you were, say, like a reasonably good troll who is able to get a good emotional response from your target on a regular basis, if all of a sudden you're trying to troll this one person and nothing you do affects them, that would probably piss them off. So I could see it becoming kind of a, not just a, you know, oh man, this guy's ignoring me, I gotta, you know, step it up, but it's also like a wound to their pride as a troll, because, you know, their skills aren't good enough to you know, clear this boss character.
So Mr. Racer wants to know.
Yeah,
I don't even
seemed
remember,
to
dude.
I mean, the only thing I can remember that it started from was, is PC objectively better than console? And I said no, because you can't make a blanket, like we're not going to go back through the whole thing, but you can't make a blanket statement like that, and then this person and another person and one other person decided to like twist what I was saying into where, you know, well, all I got to do is say PC is more powerful than console, and then that means it's objective. And I'm like, but not this PC. Well, we can't count that PC because we're not counting Sega's. And I'm like, no, that's not how this works, because that's a statement you made. And it went from all that, and like this was like days worth of fucking going back and forth.
Yeah.
To the point of like
Rambo, I think it was more than days. I mean,
it was weeks. I think. They didn't give up.
Like at least 5 or 6 podcasts, which would have been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But I understand that that kind of stuff all blends together.
Yeah,
it was the same guy over and over again.
Okay, so like Spare Who says, I believe you could never have a friendship without having arguments between each other, which eventually dies out and you continue to as never happened, with the exception that is personal to one person or side of the friendship, which on a normal friendship that is correct, but this guy isn't normal. Like, he doesn't believe in that. He just
it wasn't even a normal friendship either. We were effectively being used because of who we had on the podcast.
Yeah.
And even if you want to talk about like a friendship, even if it does get personal, even then, most times friends are able to just say, "Well, screw it."
Oh yeah, my bet. Like
You're
one
not
of my
going to
very
drop a friendship just because they happen to get angry and make a personal attack on you one time. Or
no
another.
one of my very good friends that has like personally attacked me before. Like whenever me and him were actually in an argument, and then whenever we're friends. We were able to talk it out afterwards and move on. But whenever when you don't have that base friendship, then once it gets to that point, you've just gone too far. You got to have that like a good base friendship to be able to handle somebody doing the personal attacks.
Exactly. Like, and not to mention, like, there has to be somewhat history between the two of you. It can't just
Yes.
be a friendship based on circumstance like this was. You know what I mean? Because we had somebody on our shit that they were interested in. That's when they decided they were gonna come around. You know?
Oh yeah. As soon as there was a few days where they were missing, where like a certain person was missing from the podcast, those were the days that they ended up missing from the chat or whatever.
Right, where
where
we would be in Discord all the time with these people, and then when one person stopped showing up, so did the entire other group. Like,
yes,
that's how
they all actually moved on.
Yeah, and that was fine, right? Like,
I didn't. It didn't bother me.
I mean, this is one of those things that we've all learned to accept. Like, hey, this shit happens. Whatever, it is what it is. You know.
Yeah, even whenever the other people moved on with them. It didn't bother me. It didn't make me upset that they moved on or anything like that. I was like, okay, well, I mean, I knew you. I can tell right now who you was here for, which that's cool. No big deal. We just know where everything stands. And then all of a sudden, it turned into like a whole something else. Like it was just I don't know what the hell, like how it went from where we were to where we are now. Like I just don't know. You would figure that you at least had a basic mutual respect.
Yeah,
you would think
they don't even have respect for themselves, man.
No,
like, there's no respect.
No, that's clear.
Like I said, all integrities, all morality are gone out the window. There's no.
Yeah, what's funny is that followers of the group would tweet at me during this whole thing. Was tweeting at me going, "Man, I used to have respect for you." I'm like, whatever, dude. Like,
yeah, if this is what it took to lose you to lose respect in me, then you never had respect for me in the first place.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I was like, I'm done.
Well, yeah. I mean,
thanks, Mr. Racer.
Like you're either cool with people at the jump or you're not. It's just that simple. His dick sucker, which is still in the server, by the way, he could come in at any time if he wanted to talk his shit out because he's the only one I've given a chance to because I thought he was, because he's been sort of in and out with us, right? Like at the beginning of the week, he was kind of like being cool with you.
Yeah.
And then, like, now he's back to being square one of calling you a coward. So it's like,
yep.
He's sort of in and out. He doesn't know where he stands, really. So I'm trying to, like, work shit out with him because he's actually a pretty decent guy. And again,
which one?
That one, let's just call him DP.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about? He's
Yeah.
actually in our streaming and chill server. He can come in and talk to us anytime. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the one that was being made fun of by like all the guys that he's hanging out with right now. Like they all talk shit to him and about him behind his back. He actually lives in Phoenix and he was trying to do some like oil changes to like the followers and stuff.
Yeah.
And then all because like Rambo has a falling out with this one guy, like he instantly follows the guy that is in the wrong for some reason, which is kind of weird. And I'm the only one, like, yeah, I think we're the only ones that actually stuck up for him when they were making fun of him about being an anarchist. You know what I mean? Like, we're like, dude.
Oh, yeah.
We're like, dude, he's got his own beliefs as to why he thinks this works. You know, like, that's his thing. Like, I'm not going to make fun of him for it. But yet, we're not to be trusted, Rambo. We're not to be trusted, that's even though all of his friends make fun of him on a daily, right? Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think we covered this, right? Everything's
good.
Speaking of silly Twitter nonsense, I don't know if this was. I think I read that there was some Twitter.
Wait a minute. Are we actually going to have Pete bring up Twitter nonsense?
Oh my
Yes, sir.
God.
Of all people,
Hey! I've brought up some things on Twitter before.
this is like this is actually mind blowing though. But you actually led it with speaking of Twitter nonsense. Like this is like we're inching closer and closer to you getting a Twitter.
Someday, man. Someday.
Sure. Anyways, like I said, I think that I read that this started. I think it started in game and then moved to Twitter and then ended with the bullshit. But the swatting that happened where that guy got shot.
Poor
Yep.
kid.
Yeah, there's actually going to be like at least 3 arrests made in that, and possibly 4 if you want to consider the cop being arrested.
So did they find that fucking punk ass kid? Because he's hiding on Twitter right now.
I don't know if they found him, but he actually went on Keemstar's show and did an interview.
Yeah.
And,
wow.
And actually said he was like, yeah, I'm involved.
He's a
And
piece
yeah,
of
I'm the
shit,
one.
Dude. Oh my God.
Oh, I know.
And he's done this before, I do believe.
Oh yeah,
he
he's done
shut
it
down
before.
the Dallas fucking MLG event for Call of Duty with a bomb threat.
Yeah.
And he said he does it just because he likes to see it on the TV or whatever. So he's one of the people that are
bro.
a sociopath.
What I think what you mean is you like seeing people get shot on the TV and know that it's because you did something. But, hey.
Yeah, what's sad is the cop is probably going to end up being either lose his job or charged in this. And that's really sad because the cop was going into a situation that he knew nothing about. The only thing he was about was very open the door with a...
You're cutting out, right?
Yeah, you're cutting out a little right now.
Better now? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
He went outside to investigate and ended up getting shot because the cops were already on the edge, thinking the guy had some sort of hostage situation going on.
I was just talking to Brem about this when I was 17, or maybe I was 18, when I worked at Baskin & Robbins. Our store closed much later than any of the other stores in our strip mall, so a lot of times we'd end up fooling around in the parking lot and maybe doing some donuts or whatever idiot shit that teenagers do, right? Well,
yeah.
One of the stores near us, they happened to be having like a late night meeting, and they didn't like that we were doing donuts, so they called the cops and said that they had come out to confront us about doing donuts, and that when they did, one of us had pulled a gun and threatened them with it. And so 3 cop cars showed up, 6 officers, lining us all up, hands up and all that. And like my buddy, he had his keys in his hand when they came, and he was shaking and terrified because, if his keys had flashed the wrong way or jingled the wrong way, or if he had dropped them, they could have shot him easily.
Yep. Yeah, we had a similar situation whenever we were 16 or 17. We were I was in my friend's truck, and our curfew was midnight or whatever, so we'd go somewhere, and if we didn't stay there the whole time, we would just drive around until getting closer to time to go home, because we didn't want to go home. We wanted to make sure we stayed out to the last minute. And so we went and got some free waters from McDonald's, and we were driving around like in the square of like basically from 36. Southwest 36 to Southwest 44th from Penn to May, so about a 1 square mile, and just kept driving around. And when we got to 36, it wasn't a well lit street, so we tossed out our waters when we were done, and we ended up just pulling up to my house, and most of it he walked in because I think he had to get something or whatever, and I was going in, and sure enough, like 3 cops pull up in like in our yard and surround our truck, and my friend's like, what the hell? And so we walk out there, and like all of the cops are out of their fucking car. One of them they're behind their doors with guns drawn, and my friend had his hands in his pocket, and the cop was yelling to get your hands out. We had to get down on the ground and get frisked, and that's whenever they were like, you have a pager, like why, like how much, like what kind of drugs you selling? I'm like, dude, I work. You can afford a pager? I'm like, a $6.95 a month. Like what, like is there really something like, I was a smart ass because I didn't know what the hell was going on after. Of course, this was after having the gun put down. Like when the whole time the gun's up, I'm like, shit, like I'm about to die. And sure enough, like the whole time it was somebody that supposedly pulled into apartments that matched our description. That were pulling out shotguns, and we happened to have our pool sticks in the back of his truck, and they were in the cases. They were like, "Well, this could look like a gun from a distance," and I'm like, "What are you fucking talking about?" Like
Yeah, the cops that came for us, when I tried to say, hey, man, that's filing a false police report, they could have got somebody killed, and they were like, well, you know, a water bottle can look like a gun in the right circumstances. It's like, are you for real, dude?
Yeah, I'm like, you, like, as a cop, you better know damn sure, like, that a pool stick or a water bottle is not no fucking gun. Like, yeah, so I mean, that was just like, that wasn't even a swatting incident. That was just simply, like, it's just a unfortunate incident. But I mean, a swatting one is even worse because that's an active, what's it called? An active, like, crime in progress, usually. Mm-hmm. And so, seeing how that they were already as high strung as they were when they stopped us, and it sounds like when they even came up and, you know, got to y'all, Pete, you can only imagine going into a thing where you're taking a hostage is there and somebody's already killed a man, and the door swings open. What's your thoughts going to be? You didn't even knock on the door swings open, and it's an unfortunate incident.
It's from a distance. I saw the body cam footage.
Oh, so you did see the body?
Yeah, the cop is like, it looks like they're across the street, and the guy, I guess, that got shot, like, opens the door because he sees the lights or whatever, and then the cop straight up shoots the guy from across the street.
Wow.
And he was not a SWAT officer.
So the cop is actually in wrong.
Oh yeah.
From what I saw.
From what everything looks like.
Okay, where
there
did you
is
see
some
the body
confusion
cam footage at?
I'm trying to get it for you now.
Yeah, definitely link me that because I want to see what happened on that part.
Because a lot of people were saying that it was one of the SWAT officers that shot, but I do believe it was just one of the regular cops that was there, and it wasn't one of the actual SWAT officers. Because a lot of people are, you know, they're saying, "Oh, well, they're SWAT; they're supposed to be better trained," and then the other, you know, somebody else will say, "Yeah, but
it was a fucking
SWAT.
officer who went into the situation with the wrong mindset."
Yeah.
Maybe, and I think what the most complete picture I've heard is that the regular officers were there, and then the SWAT team showed up, and then the SWAT team were going to have the regular officers just go and secure the perimeter while they got ready to do whatever they were going to do. And then that's when the person who got shot opened the door, and that all happened. So.
Wow.
Yes, but who haven't had a chance to watch Philly D's video on it yet. The only thing I didn't like is the fact that I get the reason why Keemstar interviewed him, but I still think that before he actually interviewed him, that he should have contacted the police to allow them to get to his house to do some sort of a trace or whatever, so that way they could actually find this guy. Because, like he said, he's doing it so that he could probably help the investigation by doing this. I'm like, the best way to actually handle it is to call your local police department, have them come over there and do some sort of trace.
Trace him or whatever.
Dude,
yeah, so that way the cops in the other place can actually find him.
He did this shit over Skype, right? He did this shit over Skype?
From what I'm not really sure how he called in.
I think he always does these things over Skype. I think that's like one of his things. But he kept
he didn't say how he called it in, though.
Did you notice how he kept him on when he, like, fucking said it was over with? Did you notice that? Like, he's like, okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and end this. And then, like, I wonder if he's got somebody in his Skype call, like, looking for his IP address to the Skype task manager, because I know...
Well, I hope so, because, like, that
kid is a piece of shit, dude. In my eyes, oh, man.
Doing an interview isn't going to help the investigation. Like, actually actively getting involved to where they can actually locate this guy is going to help him. So I'm hoping that he at least did that.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, too, because, like, this kid is a fucking... Dude, that's a monster, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's gonna get more people killed.
He just robbed a family of their child, dude. Like, that is something that should not be looked over, dude. Like,
but we also need to look at the guy that on the opposite team that gave that kid the address.
Yo, what's up with that shit, bro? Like,
is that guy actually maybe knows this guy and doesn't like him and thought, hey, this will be a perfect idea. I can actually get back at this guy I don't like. And see if he's actually serious and he's not going to swap me, he'll actually swap the guy that I don't like. So there's definitely more at fault than just the swatter. Like the guy that called him to pay him to do the swatting or asked him to do the swatting, that guy should be in jail. The dude that called in the SWAT should be in jail, and then the guy that actually taunted him saying, "Yeah, I bet you won't. Here's my address and try it. You know, I dare you." that guy should be in jail too. Because if it wasn't for all three of those people, this shit would never have happened.
Well, the address that was given wasn't even for the correct person. He gave him a false address.
Yeah, I know, but the false address ended up going to the guy where he's at.
Yeah, that's right. The family said that the kid wasn't even a gamer.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but what I'm saying, is, I was like if we were on a team, and we were like the guy said I'm gonna SWAT you, and I was like yeah, go whatever, and I like whenever the guy was like the SWATer contacted me and he was like yeah I'm swatting you, and I said yeah whatever, here's my address, I dare you. Well, if I didn't give my address to the guy, I gave an incorrect address to the guy, and that incorrect address ended up being the guy that got shot. Like the address that was given by the opposing team, the one that was actually getting swatted.
Yeah.
It wasn't the guy that contacted him and said, "Hey, I need you to swat somebody."
Okay.
This was from the opposing team. Like he was like, "Yeah, here's my address. I'd like to see you try it."
The dude that got killed didn't play in that Call of Duty match or anything.
Yeah.
No, that's the reason why I'm saying you got.
Was not involved in any way.
That's the reason why. That's the reason why I say you've got to look at the guy that was on the team that gave the false address.
Yes.
You got to see if he has any connection with this guy, because if he does, it could have been a personal beef and to basically piss him off. And if that ends up being like, say, if they had a grudge or found out they had a big, like them two were fighting, and the guy ended up getting killed from the SWAT, then I mean he can actually get like some sort of like premeditated charges or something maybe.
All I know
The victim had one kid, Sugar.
All I know is
They definitely need something.
All I know is this piece of shit is running around on Twitter right now. Like everybody's like harassing him.
I'm just wondering why Twitter hasn't banned his ass.
They did. They banned like 2 or 3 of his accounts. He made like 3 or 4 more. They got blocked, and now he's on one, and everybody's kind of like attacking him. Like I already sent him a message telling him he was a piece of shit. Like that shit pissed me off. Like yo, like that guy had nothing to do with the situation at all, and he's dead because of some asshole. Like that's not cool, man. Like the fuck.
And it's not just his death. His kid is gonna grow up, and fucking God knows what's gonna happen to that kid. The mother.
No, even Keemstar was
saying,
like, "You're not gonna lose sleep over it." He's like, "No." I'm like,
It honestly didn't even look like that family had a lot of money either. So there's a good chance with that growing up fatherless, that kid could actually end up in a whole bad
Foster
situation
care,
because
Homeless or
not only
something,
foster care but the streets too.
yeah,
Because the streets prey on kids with no fathers.
yeah, they do.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, what better kid to prey on than one that got his dad shot by the cops, you know?
I look at
And
it
of
this
course,
way, dude. Like,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I look at it this way: if this thing happens to this kid, like the family, I got a feeling that they're gonna, they don't look like they have, like you said, I don't think they have a lot of money, but I think they're gonna be willing to do what it takes to make sure this kid goes to jail.
Oh yeah, I think that they definitely need to bring a civil suit against all 3 of these people involved as well too, like to where they can get some financial help away from just the criminal side of it.
Yeah.
I'd be for that. I mean, and what's sad is like the mom didn't quite understand why the cops had made them all come out and walk over their dying son and handcuff him and stuff.
And they still didn't call the fucking ambulance. Yeah.
Well, they still did. Well, I mean, the cops shouldn't. Like at that point, that like the cops are thinking that we're still in the situation. Like because whenever they interviewed the guy the cop on the street, he was like, we're still trying to figure out who the hostages were, and I mean, at this point he still didn't even know that it wasn't for sure hostages. So I mean, when they're bringing people out and handcuffing them, they're making sure that that the guy that they shot was the hostage taker. And 2, if not, then they at least got everybody in there handcuffed in case one of them are the hostage takers. They already have them in custody, so that way they can't take off. Right. So I mean, that was like by the book, like how they handle that.
That's standard for those kind of situations.
Yeah, because you just don't know. You don't know the situation. You don't know who the bad guy is and who's not. You just know that there's a person you shot, and the rest of the people might be hostages or might be a hostage taker, and you just shot one of the hostages. Like you don't know. So I mean, it's an unfortunate thing for the guy that the ambulance couldn't have been called, but like I don't know what the shooting is. Obviously the shooting seemed suspect, but the aftermath seemed like it was pretty much handled by the book from what that guy described on camera.
Yeah.
It's just sad, man.
Yeah, bad all around.
Yeah, I mean, you like potentially like if the cop ends up in trouble, you potentially ruin 4 lives. Well, 4 lives were actually ruined that one in one fucking phone call. The 3 guys involved in the swatting, and then the cop and the guy that obviously got killed. Oh, well, not even that. There's even more. However many family members of that guy.
Yeah, the family too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
I mean,
Cyrus. There's going to be a lot of these lawyers are going to be biting at the bit. You're absolutely right. They're going to see this.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be not only a career changer for some of these people, but like there's got to be lawyers out there that are looking at this as like, yo, like that could have been my kid. You know, that could have been my family member.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a hell of a lot of like you said, pro bono ones taking it
all the time. What if it was
taking the civil cases for sure, and but the criminal case should be. I would imagine it'll probably end up being handled by the FBI
or internal affairs or something. Yeah.
I would imagine the reason why I say FBI because I would imagine it could happen across state lines.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that, yeah, like you said, my kid plays Call of Duty all the time, and I hear him getting mad at some other players. I always go in there like, whenever I hear him yelling. I'm like, dude, cut it out, or you're getting off of it because that ain't that damn serious to be getting into an argument over fucking Call of Duty, you know. But especially for this reason right here, and my son, you know the situation, like the autism and shit.
Dude, I used to be a ranger in COD. I used to make fucking racist jokes and stupid shit. I'm like, oh yeah, you fucking camping ass motherfucker. You gotta get camped there with your EBT card, huh, bitch? Like I'd say shit.
It's one thing. It's one thing. Like it's a little bit different, I guess. Probably like in Shane, like in like the Shane's case and my case for the other kids because the autism portion they tend to overshare. At least mine does. And I don't know
if he gets excited or angry. I mean, you never know. Oh, and it doesn't take much, and it's hey, come down to my house and say that, bitch. You know.
Yeah, and I always try to, because I mean I'm gonna end up being like Cat Williams, getting my ass kicked by a fucking 17-year-old wanting to come beat my son up, or whatever. As long as the shit ain't recorded and put on the internet, I'm fine.
Yeah, I used to say stupid shit all the time on the internet, man. Like, especially in COD, dude. I used to be a hardcore rager. Valve be coming out, she's telling me, shut the fuck up. She's like, I can fucking hear you all the way to bedroom, you asshole. I'm like, come on, man. I'm just talking shit. You sound like you're really mad. I'm like, no, I'm just trying to get a rise out of these guys. Like, yeah, I used to talk some mad shit back in the day, back when I was hooked on the CODs. I mean, I'm still hooked, but like not as bad as I was. So.
Yeah, spare who pro bono is when we're talking about lawyers, it's when a lawyer will take on a case for quote unquote free. It's not that they don't make any money because often they will take a cut of the settlement if there is one. There are pro bono cases where it's like a criminal case and there is no money, but yeah, it's when the lawyer agrees to do it for no fee to the people that they're representing.
It came, just so he knows, like, he's asking, like, what bono means. It says Latin pro, it comes from the Latin word or Latin phrase pro bono publico, and it translates for the public good. And that's where they get pro bono from.
Yeah. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of those lawyers, like, being, like, there's going to be big-name lawyers, too, dude. They're not going to be just fucking small law firm group. We're talking massive fucking state representatives, man. We're talking.
If these people have, if any of these COD players or the guy that did the swatting have money, there'll be some like people that like from the New York firms and Chicago firms trying to sign her up.
Not to mention, think of the publicity this thing is going to get in the media.
Oh,
Not only is it about video games, which they love. I mean, $10 within a few days, they're going to link this to, Call of Duty being a violent game.
No, they're going to link this to the gaming disorder.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm sure that there's going to be a huge thing about it going on, and that just means everybody wants more of it because it's.
If they link it to the gaming as a mental disorder thing, then we should definitely get more money a month. You see how dangerous it is to be addicted to games.
Exactly. I'm thinking, man, like this right here, like further proves our case to the government. Like I'm taking this to the government first of the year and going, look, dude, I need a raise.
You better give me a raise, or someone's gonna get shot by a cop next month.
Yeah, like this thing said, the diagnosis says 10 hours a day, and I played 16. So, I mean, look at that. I'm like definitely like in the I need maximum dollars here.
Yeah, I need a raise and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to pay for private security now.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm just not safe. What's crazy is that the World Health Organization is actually doing that, not because of doctors, but because of Asian countries pressuring them and financial backers. So it is actually completely political.
Yeah.
There's
Most
actually
things are. It doesn't surprise
there's
me.
actually an open letter. There's actually an open letter from like 12 or 13 psychiatrists and psychologists to the World Health Organization saying, look, there is not enough empirical evidence to actually label this as a disorder. But they did it anyway. They actually did it. It's listed in their ISM-4, not the DSM, the ISM, because it's an international one, but they listed it as a disorder.
It's
Well, I believe the CDC classified it as one too, so it should be on the DSM as well.
No, the only people who do the DSM is the APA.
Oh, okay.
And the APA are the ones that actually sent the World Health Organization saying, look, we've done our research, and there's not enough evidence to support this claim.
That would be the day,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
there's definitely an ulterior motive to it.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's mainly because of the Asian countries, like you said, like the spending and dying and freaking internet cafes.
Uh-huh.
I think the way to do something for them, however, yeah, you know, here we are. I mean, I think it's just gonna. I don't know what it's actually going to move to now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. If
Just
it's going
think,
to,
all your doctor's going to ask you how many hours of video games you play a day.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. I need you to tell me if this is real. Lucky you. This actually it came from YouTube. An email. It's like it says like to like a thing that says from YouTube to me obviously. It says, "Hey, Ramble's Corner. Lucky you. You have won an iPhone 8. Visit now, and here's a goo.google or goo.gl link. Has made you a moderator on their channel. As a moderator, you can now remove unwanted comments from videos posted on that channel. Comments you remove will be sent to the creator for their review channel. Find out more about moderating. Who that?
Someone made you a moderator of their channel?
I don't know. I'm gonna click view channel and see what the hell. Oh, that's the channel called Have Won an iPhone 8. There's 0 subscribers and 0. So it's just a
that looks
thing.
like a
I wonder if they're trying to fish your information that way.
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they might have, but I didn't log into anything. So every time something pops up like that and it says sign in, I'm like, nah.
I know. I've been getting these emails from ea.e.ea.com saying that somebody logged into my account and they want to know my thing to make sure it's really me and not
Just
somebody
a few
else.
extra E's and A's. He'll never.
Yeah,
guess.
right. It's like, nice try, guys.
I'm gonna tweet YouTube. Is it YouTube Help?
I think so.
No, it's not YouTube Help. Maybe YouTube Creators and Team. I'll try that. Team YouTube and YouTube Creators. Maybe they'll.
Where I've seen Blizzard at Battle.net.com instead of Battle.net. Silliness.
Metrox, laugh out loud. What are we, stupids? Oh, come on, dude. You don't want that answer.
I know, right?
So, you're not going to believe this shit, dude. Like, I'm going to go ahead and read this because, So, I tweeted this to DSP earlier because, like, I understand what he's going through, right? So, this is what I said to him. I said, block them if you have to. I have somewhat kept up with some of the bullshit you are going through. And these people have ruined deals with you in your life. Not worth wasting time with these people. You made your mistakes. You shouldn't have to relive them for the rest of your life. And I mean that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Fratanga comes back with, did you just support DSP blocking people?
Oh my god.
Are you fucking serious, dude? Like, you literally read all that and you came to the conclusion that I just said, yeah, go ahead and block people for no apparent reason.
But I mean, even if you did, what's the big deal? Like he doesn't have the like it's illegal to block people.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, this person has literally had his life ruined, and the first thing that Fratanga reads is, "Did you just support DSP blocking people?" That is the most autistic thing I have ever seen. Like, that is, oh my god, dude. That, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. You win, Fratanga. The internet's yours. Retardation knows no bounds.
That is like butt-chugging cough syrup, stupid Fratanga. Come on.
Oh my god. Like, seriously. I guess it's
Which
okay.
is a thing, by the way.
I guess it's okay to ruin people's lives over the internet, right? Like, it's perfectly okay. Like, even
Apparently.
even
Come on, man. You don't want to block him. That would make him feel bad.
That just blows my mind that even if they didn't do anything or nobody did anything to this guy, and he decided he just wanted to block the entire fucking internet, he has the right to. Like, what do you do? Like, saying, do you support it or not? What's there to support? Like, yeah, I support his freedom of choice. Like, if he chooses to do that, then yeah, he has the right to do that. I will support that fully.
I mean, I don't know a single person that rags on Steve Shives because he blocks people. They rag on him because he blocks everyone and then says, you know, stuff like they won't debate me, or, you know, shit like,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of stuff. It's not that he's blocking people; it's that it's the hypocrisy there.
Yep. And I don't know. I mean, it's irritating sometimes, like, to go up to go to somebody's Twitter account and find that you've been blocked without ever interacting with the person or even mentioning the person. But at the same time is that I don't like go on the list and go, well, like, you need to go to Twitter because you obviously don't know how to Twitter. Like, no, like, you have a right to do it. I just don't understand why you did it, but you still have a right to do it.
Spare who know, there are actually people that hook up like a bottle of NyQuil to their ass and let the thing drain.
Alcohol too. There's people that have died from that.
There's people that do it with Mountain Dew. Not kidding.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. It's funny, but
Yeah.
disgusting. There's chicks
They're
on
like, yeah.
Twitter that were doing cough syrup the other day.
Yep.
Like, I'm a quart low. Let me stick this funnel on my ass and you can pour this Benadryl right down it.
Definitely helps with the sore throat, right? Like,
Right.
Christ.
He was like, oh, I could feel it tickling my ribs.
You took care of that cough. Like, Jesus Christ. You're like, how did you get your fucking fever to go down so fast? I butt checked NyQuil.
It gets into
Telling
your
you,
body
man, it works
0.2%
way better.
faster.
Well, good luck with that.
All right, Cyrus. Google butt chugging.
No.
He says he's curious. I'm just trying to help out his curiosity. Rambo.
That's not going to work out well.
This is exactly what got Shane's pictures like they are now. He was like, "What is butt chugging?"
It starts with butt chugging and it leads to Hagen Dog, bruh.
No.
I think it actually led a little bit further than that with him now. Like he's
Oh,
He's
yeah,
like-
he's way past the Hagen Dog.
yeah.
you know, that's just the first steps.
Oh yeah, whenever you mention Hagen talking to him, he's like, "That was so fucking yesterday."
He's
Like,
like, that's
what-
mild compared to fat green bitches and black chicks lighting their pubic hair on fire. And
That was so last current year.
Yeah, like you got a new. I'm sorry, Cyrus.
there's also people that wrap up pills in like paper towels, like wet paper towels, and shove them up their ass too.
Yeah.
What?
I'm not kidding.
That's so
All sorts of nonsense.
fucking weird and odd.
Come on, Rambo! You don't want to try butt chugging some heroin? I heard that was.
No, I'm good. I mean, I knew that, like, what's her name? Janet Jackson, every time before her concert, she would put coffee in her butt.
Yeah,
See, you made fun of me. Starts with shit like caffeinated soap, and it ends up with this bitch putting coffee up her ass.
But see, I never Googled that. I just we were all. There
goes
was like
through your body faster through your ass.
there was a story. There was a story done on it in the news, like back in the day. But there's like anything that you put into like your ass, you ingest a lot faster.
Yeah, see?
It goes straight into your bloodstream. That in your vagina.
There was also that thing for a while where kids
There's
were like
actually-
taking shots in their eye.
Yeah. That,
Yeah.
they were dropping acid in their eye, dude. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was actually a story on the news like not too long ago about women that were putting shit inside their vagina, and that was actually had caused internal burning. Like it was burning the inside of their vaginal walls.
Well, there was the oh man, it was a
Oh, it's just
somebody
get
came
back
out
at you.
and said we gotta warn women from putting wasp nests in their vagina because somebody had said that if you do that, it will tighten up. I swear to God, bro.
They put
Have sex like a virgin again.
they put like a wasp nest.
Wasp nest. Yep.
How the fuck do you even grab one to? Oh man, like that would
No
be
joke. There's an oil that chicks can put there, and I'm not kidding. It's called Like a Virgin that makes them swell up there. And yeah,
like no man, like that's all sorts of wrong, man.
I keep telling you
So
guys,
I'm not really
there's
sure-
an absurdity limit.
Yeah, I'm not really sure that actually makes you like the virgin or whatever. I think, like you said, it just makes you swell up to where like anything around you is so damn tight.
yeah, and you guys, before you make the jokes about why I know about that, it's not for why you think I know about that. My wife's friend and boss told me about that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Not that he hasn't tried it or anything at all.
No, she offered me some. I said no. I'm good.
Like a virgin? That is so weird. You're like, hey guys, I want to go ahead and plow away on a poofy up poontang. Woo! Yeah, boy.
Like, watch. Sandra, have you ever tried putting NyQuil in your vagina?
Oh.
No? I heard it works way better that way.
Goget
So next
says,
time,
Goget says, I've never been one for blocking people, and I call blocking someone with no reason to bitch move. That's the thing, though, right, Goget? Like, there is a reason to block people. Not one that a lot of people agree with, but there's a reason nonetheless. But the no reason part, yeah, I agree. If you haven't talked to the person, you haven't done anything to them, and they block you, yeah, it's a bitch move.
It is a bitch move, yeah. And hey, Shane, can you ask her to try it tonight? We're on the couch so we can tell if it works.
Take one for the team, buddy.
Shay, did you
And
hear
if she
that?
said,
what?
will you ask her if she'll try it while we're on the cast tonight, so that way we know if it works or not?
Sandra, would you try that now so we know if it works or not? We're fresh out of NyQuil, but there's some liquid Benadryl up there.
Yeah, that'll probably work.
Don't worry, it's the children's formula, so it won't fuck you up that much.
Sugar addict, even that I could
But-
somewhat get over.
Thanks.
My thing would be, why is my wife's boss telling me about it?
If she,
Well,
That's what I would be worried about.
You have to know my wife's boss. She's a weird person. Brim knows her.
And Shane, if she's not willing to, you try it and see if your pain, since it's Benadryl. Well, no, see if you're itching by the end of the cast. Like, put it in your ass.
I'm not putting anything in my ass, Rambo. You know I don't do that.
Why do you gotta lie for it, dude? You're on a cast. Everybody knows you're gay. You don't gotta lie.
I
Shane.
am not gay.
Really? Because the way you just said that sounded pretty gay to me.
I don't have anything to tell you, honey. Go sit down.
Spare who? I'm not.
They didn't
Are you-
believe me about the like a virgin oil.
Oh yeah, it's real.
Yeah, see?
Okay. Spare who? I'm not sure. Like, are you saying, like, why are people suggesting that Rags' icon is makes him furry because of the icon?
Most people that suggest that are faggot furries themselves. So
Yeah.
that should explain a lot.
And if you look at the people that are furries, they typically have some sort of animal as their avatar. So they just automatically assume that if you have an animal as your avatar, you're a furry.
Look at Metrox in the chat. He's got a gay vampire dog as his. It's like also half robot. See, I mean, he's a furry.
It's usually done more like people say that shit more out of ignorance than anything. I don't know if he's a furry or not.
I don't think I've ever met a straight furry. Ever.
There's no such thing.
That's like a unicorn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a straight up unicorn. Every
Exactly.
single furry.
It's
No,
like a
that means
black
that
CEO.
hang
It
out
just
the-
doesn't happen.
Seems I'm hanging out. Seems I'm hanging out the wrong fucking places if I've met a lot of them.
Bro, like, they literally do not exist. We have thousands of people in in this server, and straight up, like, over half of them are furry and are gay or bi.
How is it
Oh,
that
yeah.
we attracted so many furries?
Like,
I
I
don't
don't get
really
it,
know.
dude. Like,
I think
Right,
it was
it's
actually.
like you let one in and it just goes to hell after
Well,
that.
it was
the
like
one that was
feeding-
in wasn't even a furry, and he even said he wasn't a furry. Like,
Bro,
But I was
it's
sent
like
to-
feeding
it had to-
a stray dog.
It's likely the reason why we have so many is probably likely they came for Rags, thinking that he was one because of the avatar, and just they came for that and stayed for the rest of the furries that showed up.
Oh, go get. You're lying. You might be a furry, but you're not straight. Look at yourself in the mirror, buddy.
And Metrox, yeah, I don't know if he's a furry or not. Like, if you know, then that's cool. I just don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
he
not
is.
gonna say.
Yeah, he is.
I'm not. No, Rags.
Oh, Rags? I
I'm
don't
saying-
know. I don't think Rags is.
Yeah, I won't say yes or no to that because I don't know. But I mean, I guess another furry would know. But-
it's like how other gay people know that other
Yeah.
people are gay.
It's not
Yeah, I
gaydar,
mean-
it's furrydar.
Yep, it's
Furry
furry
dar.
radar. Yeah.
When it comes to that, I think that's the reason why people associate Rags with a furry is simply because of they use the stereotype and are using it that way.
Yeah.
As far as I know, Rags just uses that dog because that dog was pretty popular when he started using it. It stuck.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
That's-
I probably am wrong. It's just my guess.
No, okay,
I think-
so the Shiba Inu.
I think that's whenever we talked about it.
Dude, the Shiba Inu is a popular image. Like, it's been used for years, and it was never really his thing. It was just an image that he liked that was popular. And he couldn't make money off of it because it's a trademarked image. So that's why he's got people commissioning for his own
Which
version
I
of
don't
it.
know how you trademark an image of a dog.
Marketing?
I guess, but it's like,
Dude, that
what
was
if somebody else takes a
was
picture of the same dog? They can't use it.
No, but you don't understand. Like, that one image that he originally had was on a record label, right?
I
The
guess,
same
yeah.
Image. No, it was the same exact image. It was the same exact image. It was on a record label, and they were using it, and then I guess they were like the first ones to use it, and then everybody else sort of afterwards have been using it for everything else. I don't think they were making money on it really, but he, in order for him to make money though, he had to get artists to be commissioned to do his own image of it, so that way he could at least say that's his.
Okay.
So
To me, it doesn't even make sense though, because if
Alcohol.
that, like, okay, they use that image for their album cover, right? But what if you have one of those dogs and you take a picture of your dog and it looks, you know, either exactly or almost exactly like that image? Like, are you not then allowed to use that as for anything monetized?
I'm
Like,
sure you are if you could prove it's your dog.
and that's what makes it weird. It's like, I don't, the trademark copyright kind of stuff, a lot of it to me seems silly, because there are legitimate ways that you could do those things. Like I said, like, it's just a picture of a dog. It's not like nobody else could go out and take the same or similar picture of a dog like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would think that they would err on the side of, if it's a generic enough thing, you shouldn't be able to trademark it just because anybody could do the exact same thing. You know, and really it wouldn't even be, I mean, literally all you'd have to do is go to a dog park and just hang out for a little while. You could probably find that dog within an hour or so, and you could take that picture.
That
That's
dog
kinda
was
weird,
pretty
rare.
well, like it was like a model breed, like, or a model dog of that breed. Like when you go to like Walmart and you see like a dog calendar and it's got like those Yorkies on the front, you could go to a dog park and hang out for days. You're not going to see another Yorkie like those ones that are on the calendar.
Yeah, see, I have a. Ben, do we have a Yorkie? Yeah, I have a Yorkie, and
They're actually mean little ugly fucking things.
oh no, they're not, man. They're cute as shit. How dare, like, now we're like, do you want to come to Oklahoma City?
Okay,
Yeah.
let me explain why I have a grudge against them, and you'll understand because it's got to do with PlayStation.
Okay.
When PlayStation 2 launched, it was around tax season of, I don't know, sometime when I was a kid. My mom decided that it was better she spend $700 or $800 on a little fucking Yorkie than keep her promise to me and my brothers and get us the PlayStation 2. So
yeah, I would have. Yeah,
I love dogs, but
I would
this
have fed it.
particular Yorkie grew up to be an ankle-biting little bitch.
I would have fed the. I would have fed the dog antifreeze.
But no,
But now,
as long as
was it
they
a
haven't
full-
been
was it a-
tortured.
Was it a full-grown Yorkie or is it
Yeah,
a?
there's a
Okay, see, we have
full-bred-
like a teacup Yorkie.
Oh, okay, well, those are different.
Yeah, and it doesn't bark, it doesn't shed, it doesn't anything. Like it's like I swear, like if the other dogs around the neighborhood are barking, she just kind of looks around like, the fuck are they doing? Like we've got like one of the like best dogs that I've ever had, and after seeing all these other people's little dogs, I'm like, thank God that we got this little dog, because I cannot stand ankle biters or yappers.
Yeah, the best dog I've ever had is a pit bull. I mean, they are friendly as shit. As long as you don't raise them to be assholes, then
Yep.
fine.
Got to be careful though, because especially with either like pit bulls or Rottweilers, sometimes you can get breeders that
So cool.
actively choose to breed the more aggressive dogs because they want to, you know, like market, I guess, them as a guard dog or something like that.
Yeah. You know how you said that since I'm in a hotel that like gonna be at least warmer.
Yeah.
Well, we walked in here and it was like freezing cold because they never turned the heat on and whatever while nobody's in the room. And so we left because I told you we left, turned the heat on, and then we went to eat. Well, apparently the heat and the pool are right next to each other. And this whole time, like, we're wondering, like, why it's not fucking heating up in here. And I had pressed low cool. And, like, I'm putting jackets on. I have a hat on. I'm, like, trying to figure out why the fuck am I freezing in a damn hotel room. It's because I turned the air conditioner on.
Really, Rambo?
Yeah, well, it's not my fault they put the two damn, like, buttons. They're just one of those little, like, push-in buttons, like, and it says, like, cool and heat, and they said, like, low, high, whatever, all over. And I just happened to hit low, cool, because low, cool, and high heat are right next to each other.
Well, it should start to warm up pretty soon then.
I sure hope so, because like I didn't think I was going to have to put jackets on in a fucking hotel room.
So you didn't bring any games with you? What are you gonna do all night?
After this, probably, I don't know, fuck around on Twitter and
He's got his phone. Games on that, don't you?
yeah, and then go to bed and then get up and drive to go get pick up the kids and drive back home.
Yay!
Yes, and then it's back to gaming.
I couldn't just like sit in a hotel room like all night with nothing to do. It would drive me nuts.
Trust me, I got a feeling they're not gonna be sitting there, sir. They're in a hotel room with no kids.
But even that only lasts a couple hours tops.
That's because you're a pussy, sir.
She's asleep though.
I'm sure you could wake her up with a nice spooning.
Yeah,
Like, yo, girl, what's up? Podcast is over with. Time to perform, woman. Get to it. Yeah, right. He'll be single faster than shit.
I saw that, Spare Who. We all did. The woman that named her son Vagina to break gender stereotypes or whatever nonsense argument she gave. Yeah,
And
that
see,
kid's in for a
no
rough
one will make
life.
a big deal of that, but if someone named a little girl Penis, oh god, everyone would lose their
gross.
shit.
Child Protective Services would be at that house before you could count to 3.
Nothing's gonna happen though with this girl naming her kid Vagina.
not at all. Like,
Bro,
did you hear the feminist that tweeted out? Something that her New Year's resolution is to kill all men or something.
the fuck?
Verified Twitter account, mind you. And like there was, if you scroll through her profile, there was a picture of like a Star Wars set that her little boy got for Christmas, and he had like, I think at 4 years old, I think it was, he happened to look at it and go, "Why is there only one girl in here?" And she's like, "Made a feminist proud," or cry or whatever. I'm like, whatever. Like, your kid didn't give a shit about how many boys or girls were in the fucking playset, unless you're poisoning the fucking kid's mind.
Yeah, I'll take shit that never happened for 400, Alex.
Yeah. Name a time whenever you were a kid that you opened up a toy and cared how many girls were in the set and how many boys were in the set, and like, you just cared if it was a toy and was able to be played with.
Yeah. No, the one time that I was curious about anything like that as a kid is I remember asking my mom why her best friend was a different color than me, because she was a black lady, and that's it. That's like
Racist?
yeah. At 3
You
years
would be
old,
called that
hardcore
today.
Racist.
Yep.
Yeah, today you would be called that, though. Sadly.
Yeah.
Well, because I was eating a Hershey's candy bar at the time, is that worse?
Mommy, is she chocolate? I think you know, like, I think a lot of kids when they aren't introduced at a young age to other races, they go through that. Like, I remember this because it was so funny when I was a kid. Like, my mom thought it was funny, even the dude thought it was hilarious. I was about, I would say, like 5 years old when I first met a first black person, technically, right? I shook the dude's hand and I tried to wipe off his shake because I thought he got black on me. I'm not being a racist, but as a kid, when you are finger painting or you deal with color, like, that is what that's what you're used to doing. And the dude thought this shit was hilarious. You know, a little 5-year-old was doing some racist shit when he didn't even know what he was doing was racist. Now, had I been that same 5-year-old brought up today, I'd probably be crucified.
Oh, for sure.
Fuck yeah, you would.
Yo, what's up, Cobra?
Yeah, Sugar Addict, that professor that tweeted out, "All I want for Christmas was a white genocide," he's now complaining that alt-right, neo-Nazi, white supremacist harassers are ruining his life.
He ruined his own life by being a racist.
Oh, people.
He's gonna
Yep.
dude, like, how can you sit there and say I want a white genocide and expect nobody to be upset about that?
Right?
Yeah, and then if the people that are upset, they're obviously racist because they don't want a white genocide. It's like, yeah, I'm not the way that works. But
That's not how
Replace
this
that with-
world runs.
no, but replace that white with any other color, and Jack and Twitter would ban you,
Yeah.
or at least remove your verified check mark.
Yeah, sugar. That actually happened, man.
I'll be right back.
I was a little kid at the time, and even the dude thought that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, sugar. I'm definitely. I'm like one of the most wanted and hated types of people in the world. Actually, a white male. And of course, that guy in our picture there has a lot of privilege. There, he has a privilege. He has so much privilege. He just dumps it all over his fucking dash.
God damn it.
Now, there was another one too. I can't remember her name, but she was a pretty big movie and TV star. I think it's the lady that played Grace in Will and Grace.
She's a social
And it
justice
was-
warrior, I think. If I remember.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
yeah,
was something
she
about her
is.
kid. Her kid said something, or her kid didn't stand for the national anthem at some school function, so she took a picture of it and tweeted about how proud she was of her kid for, standing up to the evil straight white male patriarchy or whatever.
Bro, like,
Oh,
how do you
my
put
God.
that shit on blast like that and expect?
Well,
nobody to
as if
say-
that kid did that all on his own, right?
Right, dude. Like, kids, here's the thing, man. Kids aren't privy to patriarchy or an all-white society or hatred like that. It's taught to them by their parents who think
Oh yeah.
and dream up these things so that way when their kids get older, they could be quote-unquote activists against a patriarchy that doesn't exist. Right? They're spoon-fed this garbage nonsense when they're kids, dude. And I think that needs to change, dude. Honestly, if we're gonna move on as a society, like, that shit needs to fucking change. Like,
I
today.
couldn't agree more.
Well, I just think it's hilarious how these social justice warriors will complain about, whatever it is, that we're damaging our kids with these dangerous gender stereotypes and blah blah blah. But it's totally obvious that they are straight up indoctrinating their children into their own. Yeah, what 8 or 10-year-old kid cares about kneeling for the national anthem? Protesting police brutality.
Nobody.
No kid even knows it. No,
Yeah, what kid would even know anything about that?
Not a single one of them. They're all
Yep.
they're all completely oblivious to everything going on because they're in their kid world. They're in their kid thing, like thinking, okay, well, I just want to do this and I want to do that. Like that, they're not thinking, oh my God, there's police are indiscriminately shooting black people. Like, oh God, no, there ain't no kid out there. If there is, a kid needs a fucking life.
I mean, I know exactly what happened. What happened was that this mom had been talking about how great it was that all these, sports stars are, doing this, and it's such a good thing. And the kid just picked up on that and thought, oh, hey, if I do this thing that my mom's talking about, she'll pat me on the head and she'll say you did a good job. And so he did.
And that's exactly what happened. She patted him on the head and said, "Good job."
Yep.
I don't know. It's so the world we live in, to where there's so much hate, really, and we've came so far as a society only to regress back further than where we started when we needed to make a change.
Yep.
Yep.
It's
That's sad, dude.
yeah. I don't really know how that happens. Like usually people don't. Like they fall off the bandwagon a little bit, but then they get right back on. But like these people fell off the bandwagon and the wagon just kept fucking going, and then they caught the taxi back to where they started from. I don't know. Like these people are fucking weird.
I agree, man. I agree. These fuckers, dude. Oh man. So okay, let this be a question. If you guys make it to this far into the podcast, is it okay to be harassed online so much to the point that it actually interferes with your income? And if it's okay, why would that be okay? And the follow-up question to that would be, is it really a bitch move to block said harassee or harasser to protect your investments? Or better yet, just so you don't have to hear the harassment? I just want anybody who's watching this to go ahead and answer that. And then for Tonga, if you're watching by any chance and you, I actually muted you because what I thought you said was completely stupid. So, for somebody who talks about logic and common sense, you sure in the hell didn't really practice any during that post. So,
like I said, you got that fucking ego problem for Tonga.
Yep.
Gotta be right every time.
Well, I mean, like, the guy's fucking, like, career is practically ended because of these fucking idiots. But, like, he gets to that whole, oh, did you say it was okay for him to block people? Like, really, out of that whole thing, that's all you point out? Yes, I'm saying it's okay for him to block people that are harassing him and are altering his life in a negative way. Yes, it's okay to block them. It's when you block somebody with no reason and it's a bitch move.
And even then, we're not saying you can't do it. Just that it's kind of a bitch move.
Exactly.
Everyone makes a bitch move here and there.
It happens.
Well, like I said, I muted him. Like, I mean, he's gonna probably cry about that in his next podcast.
Speaking of everybody making a bitch move every once in a while, looks like Mark Hamill had, or I don't know, but he posted on Twitter he regrets voicing his doubts and insecurities about the comments he made on of how he didn't understand what the character Luke was doing in the movie.
Translation is Disney. Disney told me to say this.
Yep, that's what it would look like.
And Chris, like whenever I was actually younger, like I too probably didn't stand for the national anthem like in school or whatever. Sometimes, or the flag, or not the national anthem, but the flag,
Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance. But it was never like about like I don't want to be supporting the thing. I was simply tired, bored, or didn't give a shit or whatever.
Yeah, my legs hurt.
But I mean, I'm a kid, but like now, like even like first of all, I using the. Well, do you stand whenever at your house whenever the national anthem plays at a football game? Well, first of all, most of the time when you turn on a football game, the national anthem's already done.
And if I do catch it, no, I'm at home.
But if I'm like anywhere I'm at, like if I'm at my kids' play or like if I'm at a football game or a basketball game or whatever, and the kids sing the national anthem or somebody else sings the national anthem, I turn my I stand up and first of all, I mean I fully respect every sacrifice the men and women that have fought for this country have put done. And even though we live in a shit country right now, it's still better than the other countries out there.
So, Rambo, have you played Watch Dogs 2 at all yet?
I played a little bit. I mean, I've already platinumed it on PlayStation, but I started playing a little bit of it on Xbox. It actually still. I mean, even though it's not like enhanced for the X. It still looks good. I mean, it looks good. Like it doesn't have like the HDR, but even games without HDR sometimes appear to have it because the colors are still even better on an HDR display.
Especially like the blacks and stuff. Yeah.
So it still looks. I mean, it looks really good because of the HDR portion. And like I said, I already platinumed it on PlayStation prior to me getting my HDR TV, so I never got to see that portion.
Yeah.
It's crashed on me like 2 or 3 times, to where like it just either I had to like exit a game, or that one time like I told you that I had to actually turn my Xbox off. Oh,
C3PO right now.
Okay, right now.
No, he's back.
Okay, where my Xbox actually turned itself off, to, like back, like where I had to turn it all the way back on.
Yeah.
And it's happened with that game, and I'm not sure if it's something with my Xbox because it's crashed a few other games.
Yeah.
But never as bad as that one. Or I don't know why it's crashing a lot, but that seems to be the only problem I'm having with my X, and really the only problem I've had with what's it called, Watch Dogs 2 at all. Other than that, I mean, it's actually a really fun game. I would suggest Watch Dogs 2 to anybody. It's actually a really fun little game.
Yeah, I took one last crack at the Christmas sale, and that's what I ended up with was Watch Dogs 2 and Super Lucky Tales.
Oh, yeah, I think if you like platformers, you'll like Super Lucky Tales, other than the camera. The camera's frustrating, but you'll get used to it.
I already went through the first world, and the only time I died is from the camera angle.
Yep. It's got the Crash Bandicoot camera angle.
But yes, it's a fun game.
And compared to the other platformers out there, I do feel that Super Lucky Tales did get a fair review with it being like in the 60s and 70s because of that camera angle. Like in comparison to the other ones out there with the full 360 camera, like that was enough to cut things up, like cut it down as far as like point wise, because that in a platformer, a camera really makes or breaks how good the platformer is.
Well, yeah, there's not much to a platformer, but the camera angle is like a key asset, and if that sucks, then it is going to drag the rest of it down.
Yep.
I enjoyed it though. I put 100% of that one on Xbox.
So far, I haven't gotten any rare achievements, and I've already went through the first world, so that's pretty good.
Well, here's where you'll start getting on the second world, because that's like the third world on. Everything was rare for me.
Oh shit!
What's the biggest gaming sequel disappointment personally? I think for me,
the biggest gaming sequel.
Yeah, the biggest gaming sequel disappointment. So the sequel that you were the most disappointed with, I'm assuming in relation to the previous one.
Okay.
I think for me it would be Modern Warfare 2. Because Modern Warfare 1 was like my absolute favorite Call of Duty. And I loved it. I loved playing the multiplayer. And Modern Warfare 2, for me, it was worse in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
The graphics were a little better, and some of the weapon mods they had fixed a little bit of that a little bit better, but the story was not as good as the first one, I think. Now the third one had a great story, but the second one it kind of lagged a little. The multiplayer was just not as great. The maps were kind of tired and they weren't as well done. So I think that one was my biggest sequel that disappointed me.
Mine would probably be Destiny.
Destiny 2, you said?
Yeah, I mean, after so much time that I spent with Destiny 1 and how addicted I was to that game, to have the sequel come out and basically lose my interest after 2 weeks, that was a big disappointment for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, they really didn't improve a whole lot, right?
It's like
You're roboting.
Yeah.
So I'm outside now, so my phone's trying to connect to the Wi-Fi and mobile internet.
Dude, we gotta get you back on the computer, bro. Like this is.
I know, right?
This is a little.
We're gonna have to. We'll have to get
laptop,
set up,
dude, with all that money you got. Like, fucking, just get your cheap laptop. Get you like a little $200 laptop that can launch Discord and
get them like a nice recliner and a good portable heater for the garage, so he doesn't get cold.
I'm gonna be moving in February, probably when I get my taxes. So at that point, I'll be able to set my computer up in a area where the baby's not sleeping. So
that'll be good.
Yeah, I'll be starting in like maybe February or March. I should be back on my computer with my computer.
Fossil Fighters Frontier. Man, I've never even heard of that. Yeah.
What the fuck is that a sequel to?
Fossil Fighters, maybe? Is there a regular Fossil Fighters, and the next one was Fossil Fighters Frontier?
I've never even heard of Fossil Fighters. Like, I've never
I know.
Even heard of it, like, at all, ever.
So, my all-time disappointment for me personally, man, I would have to say Clay Fighters 2 for the N64, and Turok 2. Like, they were both really bad games. Like, they were terrible. Because, like, Turok 1 was just
Yeah,
so much...
Turok 2. Yeah.
Because Turok 1 was just so much better on every aspect, right? Like, even down to the controls, everything. The way the environments interacted with each other, the dinosaurs would fight each other for, like, prey and shit. Like, it was just a better game altogether. And then Play Fighters 2 was just fucking ass. Like, it was clunky. They removed a lot of the combo system to oversimplify it, I think, and it was kind of a big letdown for a lot of people in the fighting game community. So, some people liked it because they never played the first one.
Yeah.
But the first one was definitely probably one of the best Super Nintendo games I ever played.
I actually have to change mine. There was one that disappointed me more than Modern Warfare 2. It was between Deus Ex, the original, and Deus Ex 2. That was a huge kick in the nuts.
Never played those two.
The original was great. I mean, the graphics weren't all that fantastic, and it was a little clunky, but it was just a great game. The story was great, and it had so many. I mean, just the amount of things you could do. I mean, it was one of the first kind of games where you could there were like 5 or 6 different ways to get into a building. And so you could choose, you could be a stealthy guy, or you could be a hacker guy, or there was all sorts of different ways to do stuff. And 2, man, the graphics were better, and they had fixed some things with the controls and stuff, but it was just so bland and boring.
Does Tony Hawk Pro Skater games count? Because Tony Hawk Ride and Pro Skater 5 were horrible.
Yep, he took the word right out of my mouth. Fuck Tony Hawk 5. That's my most disappointing sequel ever.
But I thought you.
But is it worth $19? No. Is it worth $19?
Yeah.
Well, now
definitely.
It is. Now it is, but not then.
Yeah, from what it sounded like at launch, I don't think it was worth even if somebody gave it to you and offered you money to take it.
Bro, like where it was at launch, dude, it was bad. Like Shaner was telling me all about it. He was like, I mean, Shane, you can break it down. I mean, you're the one with the experience here, not me. So go for it.
It wasn't all that bad. It's just under par for a Tony Hawk game, and I don't think I would have been even as salty about it had I not stayed up all night waiting for it to finish downloading. I didn't pre-order the fucking thing. I mean, I went all out because you hadn't seen a Tony Hawk game in a long time, and all of a sudden, Tony Hawk 5. I mean, I had real high hopes and got let down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it's the worst for me. It's not a bad game.
I noticed with most of Activision's games that are not their staple games are either like just rushed messes, like they end up not functioning properly for some, like they just don't give a shit. They just want to get money off of it.
Yeah.
Now we're what? I mean, aside from my game of the year, without a certain games in the category, what was everybody's personal game of the year for 2017? Personal that you played, I guess.
That I played. I don't know. I played a lot in 2017.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
What was it? What was the question?
Game of the year, your personal game of the year that you
personal
played.
game of the year? Oh, mine's still Soma. Nothing's beat Soma yet.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Like I gotta actually, that's on my list to play. So I guess I gotta get through that.
Yeah, Soma's my game of the year still. Like no other title has even come close to it yet. So I'm still sticking with Soma.
Yeah, I don't know.
Titanfall 2 was a close one. Like that was my 2 biggest competitors for my personal choices of game of the year, which was Titanfall 2 and Soma. And the only reason why Soma got it was because it was more immersive and it's a different type of game altogether, where Titanfall 2, I've experienced it before, but at least this time it had a better story, and that's why it almost got it. The story alone almost nabbed that spot for me. So I'd say my top 2 definitely would be Soma and Titanfall 2.
Yeah, I think for me it'd be between Titanfall 2 and Warframe. Mine, I guess, would... Shit.
Between South Park: The Fractured Butthole and maybe Call of Duty World War II.
Oh,
I don't know. I've played a lot. I mean, I couldn't even narrow it down to 10 of them, really. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of good stuff.
maybe we should. You guys ever thought about hosting our own game award, like for the year?
we need to. We start maybe doing the next year.
Like maybe do that for season 3, maybe, or
and then have people
or we could start the calendar off right at the beginning of the year, and then we'll start playing really hardcore, like just playing more hardcorely versus our trying to get our backlogs down, and we can discover it throughout the year, and then we can list what we've played and what we've beaten, and give a rough give a rough outline as to what we thought about each of those games. Does that sound good to you? Because I know we play a lot of games between all of us. Like, there's a lot of fucking titles there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think we need to have something get something more formal than just sitting around like this, like where maybe we can put out something to where we even not only actually do maybe some categories where some of the people we're on the Game Talk Twitter where we send out going, okay, well here's a list of games. For say best action game up to 17, help narrow it down to 4, and then we'll we can help let them vote and us vote on it too.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then maybe do it where we can all talk about our experiences with these said games.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Mine would be, I guess, probably between Horizon Zero Dawn and Blade.
Yeah.
Blade?
Senua's Sacrifice. Yeah.
Both great games. Yeah.
Yeah, they're both brand new IPs, and the way that Guerrilla really surprised me from going from Killzone to Horizon and it turning out the way it did.
That's a big
and then
change.
Of course, yeah, from first-person shooter to open-world RPG, yeah. And then of course Hellblade. I mean, that was just amazing all the way around. So it's kind of a toss-up between them.
And original too. I mean, man.
Original.
Yeah.
Now we know Hellblade 2. She's going to be suffering. Senua is going to be suffering from gaming addiction, and so that'll be her mental disorder for that.
Wow. Good old game apologizes to social justice warriors for sharing PC Master Race image of Terry Crews.
Oh yeah.
What's
Yep.
wrong with
Yeah.
Terry Crews? Terry Crews is...
Oh no.
As if it wasn't obviously a joke. They've got Terry Crews in it.
They shared Terry Crews' a meme picture of Terry Crews, and it said PC Master Race at the bottom whenever he's flexing.
Mhm.
And people literally replied to that and was talking about how that's triggering and you're very daft in using a black person to promote a white supremacist narrative. And I'm like going,
What?
we kept replying to him going, it's not literally talking about the fucking master race like in fucking Germany.
Nazi Germany,
It's like this is a fucking PC versus console thing. This is where it all.
Fucking joke, people.
It's like that's where it all came from, and they actually ended up having to fucking apologize.
Fuck that.
I was like, there's no. I would apologize. I would have said, look, to all my followers that are fucking smart, I'm sorry that you had to see the fucking idiots on my damn Twitter feed. I would have apologized for the opposite of what they did because they did nothing wrong. There was nothing fucking wrong with that post.
Yeah. It's getting out of hand.
Oh, Chris, you got called a weeb earlier by an Xbox dude in a podcast chat because you wanted to play Persona 5 and somehow your profile picture is a weeb. What the hell is your profile picture? It's on my phone. It's kind of hard to. That's a weeb thing.
I don't know.
Huh. It doesn't look like one to me. It looks like those people that call people weebs and weirdos or whatever for playing Persona. I don't really understand it because it's nothing different than playing Titanfall 2 or whatever. It's just a different style of game. It's either you like it or you don't. I understand people that don't like it. But you shouldn't be shaming somebody because they want to play it. That just makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, irony of ironies.
Yeah. How dare you be a gamer? on gaming.
How dare you like part of another culture?
Yeah. Oh, that's a pic of you. Oh my god, that's actually a pic of you. So he called your picture of you a weed picture. That's really weird.
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
No, I plan on actually play. I bought Persona 5 in the sale. I have to get to it, but I'm trying to get through all my quick games first, so that way I can feel like I've made some sort of dent in my backlog. Because if I can get rid of like say 100 games, I'm like yes, but really in all reality, I mean I got rid of maybe like 30 or 40 hours worth of playing. So
especially the Persona 5, that's a commitment.
Yeah, and that one I'm gonna want to platinum that one. And so that's like 300 plus hours.
Hey guys, gonna run the restroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah, when you finish half of your backlog, then start something like that.
Yeah, I'm not jumping into that one and then trying to do my backlog because I'll still. I mean, my backlog will be like 5 times what it is now by the end of next year. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. Chris, that profile pic's actually pretty badass. I thought it was actually like a band or something or whatever. Because like I said, I can barely see it from my phone. But yeah, them Xbox dudes that like I saw one of them that was. Well, you said you actually like the tweet, I think, but they were talking about the Kodi app is now going to be on showing up in the Xbox store, and it's something that PlayStation guys are gonna like. Whatever, I'm like, dude. Why are you bragging about being able to watch even more movies on your Xbox? Like we're gaming, we're gamers, we're not moviers. You know, like it's cool and all, but it's not really something that a PlayStation dude or even any dude's gonna sit there and pine over the fact that oh my god, we can't watch Kodi. Do y'all use Kodi?
I don't know.
What is Kodi?
Basically, it's where people go to the movie theaters, record the movie while they're watching it, and then upload it to Kodi. And basically, you can go watch. You can watch
so it's
like
shit quality.
Yes,
Right.
I mean, there's my friend had it, and there's literally there's some movies where there's people getting up to go get popcorn or whatever while you're fucking watching the movie, and I'm like, no, this is like. I don't understand it. Like,
if I'm gonna pirate a movie, I'm gonna pirate a good version of it.
Yeah, I'd rather pay for the fucking movie than to watch a movie where people are getting in my way even more because that pisses me off at fucking movies. They're like, well, at least I got to watch it. Well, no, you really didn't because you got to watch big ass people's shadows walk in front of your movies.
Even worse is when the sound quality is shit.
Yeah.
You can't understand what anybody's saying or something like that.
You have to turn it up really loud, or you have to like put the subtitles on so that way you can understand what the hell is going on. Yeah, Blue Psycho. That's actually Kodi's not against the law, but the movies that are uploaded to it are. So I would imagine that if Xbox is smart, they would like nix the app really quick, or try to find a way to block that area of Kodi that allows.
Well, what else is on the app?
Huh?
What else is on that app?
Like older movies like that are. I mean, you can get them free. I forgot what else is on there. I mean, like I know that you can. It's like basically. Like you can maybe watch Rambo for free, like the really old movies and shit that's on TV.
Oh, okay.
And but like you can a lot of times like if it's people who don't have cable will use it because like the Walking Dead episodes will be on there right after they air. But it's again somebody recording it from their home and uploading it to the internet.
Well,
they're probably having the same problem that. Because Microsoft was also having that issue with their cloud storage thing, right? With people putting pirated games up there.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to have to figure out something because especially if they're making where the UWP sites or apps that go on the Windows 10 store show up in the Xbox. I mean, it could definitely get kind of tricky if they start getting apps where you can actually pirate Xbox One games. Oh, I signed up for PS Now.
How is it? Played
It's
anything
actually,
on it yet?
mean, I played on it before, and it was like I tried it out for a month or the 14 days or whatever they gave you, and it runs smoothly, like on my internet. I mean, I understand that people with the lower internet's not going to have the same quality, but it was almost like I was just playing on my PS3, or a PS3. So, but I bought it because, or I paid the money for it because it has a bunch of easy platinums in it. So I figured, like, $20 a month isn't bad for me to just dive in there, platinum a few games, and be done with it, not have to buy them.
Yeah. Especially you do get to keep the achievements, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, that's perfect for you.
And some of there's like a few games on my trophy list that I never got the full completion of, like Infamous 2. Like I played and beat Infamous 2, but since I started it on this account, like right after I switched over to the PS4 and I made this account, I played a little bit of Infamous 2. I was going to get the platinum planning on it, but then I started playing the PS4 games again, and I never really went back. But now I could actually play Infamous 2 and go get the platinum on it. So, I mean, it's going to allow me to actually complete some of the PS3 games that I wasn't able to before, or haven't been able to since I got rid of it.
What's this app called? Kodi?
Kodi, Kodi.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it in the new app section.
Well, there's some, I don't know, Jez Corden shared it out, and like some people are able to pull it up and some people were having problems finding it. So it's like hit and miss. Like you just never know what type of quality you're going to get when you start watching it. And
this may take a lot of people like by surprise. Not you guys, but I actually don't watch shit on my Xbox. I play things on it.
Yep. Yeah, I don't like. If I ever watch, I mean, I watched the Netflix or the Game of Thrones on I think my PlayStation or my Xbox, or actually a little bit of both, depending on what I turned on at the time. But like 99% of the time, like I don't even think about download, even having another app on there that's not related to gaming.
Get a Roku stick thing, Pete. Those things are amazing. Oh no, we're back now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're back.
I'll check the internet and see if there's like a reported outage somewhere.
Yeah, I don't ever really I'll use like you said, the Roku stick or
so what
something.
Did we go down for a minute?
Why?
Yep.
I guess for just
I'm not showing any
seconds.
frame drops or anything on my end. What the fuck? Because evidently my shit's like, fuck you, niggas. Oh, no, we're live again. You want to switch it?
That's probably what it is, dude.
Playing peekaboo with the stream.
Maybe Simo was right all this time.
Yeah. Was that a yes or no, Shane?
Hold on, now my shit's fucking up.
Well, run a speed test on yours.
I'm trying to get it soon.
Yeah, Sugar, I don't know if I can do manga and all that. Like that. It's one thing to play the games based on it, but like it's hard for me to. Well, first of all, I don't like cartoons, and I know that they're more adult oriented or like really deep stories, but to me, when I look at them, they just seem like cartoons. So I don't ever really get. I don't see the pool to watch manga or anime.
Dude, my OBS keeps crashing. What the fuck?
Quality operation.
I'll try, Cyrus.